Excellent. Get in there.
Moving down, please, guys.
We're not going to spend too long here because the sun's in your eyes, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of the stadium before we actually move on, for those that have never been before. First of all, though, are we all Manchester United supporters? Well, that's okay. We're all right. It's Tommy Taylor, one of our best players ever. Your mum for being late?
got enough for my dad instead.
Okay. It's in each corner now, but back in the 60s and 70s, and I can remember those times, I'm afraid, the 60s and 70s, I stood at the Stretford end in the early 60s. Yeah. Where the white Adidas sign was, that was the height of the stand, and there used to be a white scoreboard there. And at half time, because all games used to kick off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, how novel is that? Doesn't happen very well because of the sunshine. We spend quite a lot of time over there in this little Charlton stand, so I'll talk more about that as we get over there. Into the fabric and success of the club at the time. Very, very successful manager. Pardon?
Keep moving on, please, guys. Thank you.
Is it 45, Paul?
Yes.
Amazing Theatre of Dreams.
Hi, folks. If anybody wants me to take a picture for them from up here,
Come in.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll get a picture, Tommy. Is
Give me a shout.
we going to go to spot?
It's not a bad spot. You've got the net behind you, but you'll lose that.
Where's the photo bit of it?
There we go.
Oh, right. Is that an icon?
So you could almost say it's like a grass carpet, but it is 97% grass. And so what happens in the season, we strip it down completely, sand it, reseed it, and the roots of the new grass actually entwine in the 20 million plastic fibres that are underneath that pitch. So we can actually allocate 9,000. Obviously,
Away end.
9,000 in there, so there's 3,000 in there, and the other 6,000 will be at the top of the east stand there.
35 years ago, and I the first
The youngsters maybe come here, so you live part that's been remained here in the 115 years we've been here. And in fact, our first game at this ground was 115 years ago tomorrow, the 19th of February. 115 years ago. Yeah. Somebody got a question? Was completely destroyed. We weren't the target. The target was the Salford Docks, not too far away from here. But unfortunately, it did happen. But when they cleared the rubble away after the war, they discovered this tunnel was unscathed. So the chairman at the time was asked by the architect, "Do you want us to bulldoze through that and start the whole thing again?" And he said, "No, because if the enemy can't ruin it, we're not going to." Through to 1993, this was the tunnel players used. So many famous players have been down this tunnel. We've got a picture of the Busby Babes there. Okay, unfortunately, there's 6 of them.
Sorry.
Manchester United changing room.
You need to sit down, Charlotte. Oh, I thought that was.
Charlotte. Go in front and sit in the door.
Can actually there, look.
Are these real players' shirts? I'll be honest with you, no they're not. They're replicas from our mega store. They just give you an idea of what it looks like on a match day. This is roughly where the players will be sitting on a match day for the team. You can have your smartphones, no pay packets in there. I did check. Simple game. The active TV screen. You can play videos. You can do things like you do on Sky TV, where you can sort of move players around and arrows. So guys, was the away changing room? Okay, so it became too small. Also because of COVID, social distancing, etc. Any other questions? It's not quite as plush as the one you've just been in. White walls, white benches, a couple of mirrors, 3 showers, hot water. Yeah, who could ask for more? Okay, so it does meet international standards though, because we're obliged to that because we do play international games here. Remember, England have played games here when Wembley has been rebuilt. So it does meet international standards. Okay. Famous Hillsborough disaster of 1989, where people went to matches and never saw their families again. So a big report came out. It said we've got to change the way we run football matches. And for instance, the three major things: we must get rid of perimeter fences around the side of the pit ground. I remember those fences. I used to stand at Stretford End, and the fences used to come up right up there. We had to get rid of all those. We had to make the top 2 tiers of English football all-seater stadiums. But the third and main thing was we must be able to give access to emergency vehicles in the case of an emergency such as they had at Hillsborough, where only one ambulance got onto the pitch. And they reckon they could have saved more lives if they could have got on there. So those doors at the back will open completely right up to the ceiling. The red canopy that you've seen a million times on TV can actually roll out right out onto the ground, onto the pitch if we need it to. And where you've got the Manchester United crest here, we've got 99 people sat in those seats. We obviously picked those people from those seats, and we can actually raise it up on hydraulics, so it will be the same height as the rest of the ceiling, and we can get in fire engines, whatever we need to. Okay, 7 cameras up there, 23 around the ground, and the commentators are also there on a match day. Okay. And that's where we're all going to next.
Here as well, Richard. That's when David Beckham played, and when his eldest son was like okay?
From the other side. So again, this is where run onto the pitch from here.
One shot and everyone doing it for Gunset. You're not little kids, but you're my kids, so.
When he came and he changed it round. Change it round. Well, he liked the fact they could sit here and the opposing side had to walk past it. Subtle different. Also near to Shetland, where the more passionate fans would be singing and chanting. I hope we were winning, because if we weren't, because when we stand in the first place, God says this is the original part and never change. When we stand the film and just have stanchions, there used to be a stand. The technical area,
where the TV cameras would be.
this time, walking the technical area, and he starts off at that line, he walks to that line, he walks to that line, he walks to that, and that goes on for now.
Where the commentators would be.
They literally walk across the room, drop in.
That's the maroon seats for directors, dignitaries.
They get a full meal beforehand, 3-course meal.
The old tunnel. Where Alex Ferguson and all of the old players from the past would sit, compared with the red seats.
These seats aren't heated, I'm afraid. I showed you where the journalists would be. After that, they come in here and they speak to the managers. Usually it's the away manager comes in first. When Sir Alex Ferguson was around, he used to announce new players here in this room. So there are many, many famous players of signed for us in this room. Eric Cantona, Roy Keane, Terry Sheringham, Solskjaer, Ruud van Nistelrooy, all those players, and of course Ollie has been a manager not only of Manchester United, but he also came as manager of Cardiff City. And Ruud van Nistelrooy has just done a similar thing, because he was interim manager here and he's just been back as manager of Leicester City. So
Yes! He's happy about this then. Marvellous.
Our away fans are in this particular section. Bar 68, because that's the year that Manchester United won the European Cup for the first time. Back at Wembley, we beat Benfica 4-1. I was there. I'm going to give my age away again, aren't I?
That was a Manchester United stadium tour.